Welcome into the Dallas Cowboys Report by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey, as you can probably tell, coming to you for an at-home piece here on Friday because the Cowboys, in all of their free agency moves, have always done them on a Friday, right before closing time, I guess, for the Cowboys front office, blah, blah, blah. Two moves made here, one of which we've known, that is the re-signing/signing. He has played for the Cowboys, but not most recently, of Lirim Hajrullahu, the kicker who the Cowboys did have on the roster briefly last year as Greg Zuerlein was battling his injuries. Hajrullahu, that was reported last week, also on a Friday, now has been made official from that standpoint. There was some just processing physical stuff that had to be taken care of. So he's on the roster now. The other move is a linebacker, Christian Sam, who you may and probably may not have heard of. Most recently with the USFL, Sam is going to compete for a roster spot and is more likely going to compete to be more of maybe a practice squad guy in year one, or I should say in his first year with the Cowboys, not year one in the NFL. We'll go more in depth on Sam, who he is here in a minute. Background is the Cowboys had two roster spots open. Lirim Hajrullahu fills one of them. They created of sorts a second one with the putting of Devante Bond on injured reserve. Now that one was expected. He's not healthy. He suffered a knee injury at OTAs a month and a half-ish ago. We've known he was going to be out for the year. It was a matter of when, not if, he was going to be put on IR, and now he has done so, or has been put on IR, I should say. So Hajrullahu and Sam are the two newest members of the Dallas Cowboys organization. We'll talk about both of them, and you might even hear baby Olivia in the background, too, since I'm solo daddying, that's a word, right now. First question, and I want you to be honest with me on this one because as a draft nerd myself, I barely have heard of the guy before. Do you know who Christian Sam is? Y for yes, N for no. Have you heard of Sam in the past? Let me know in the comment section if you're familiar with the player. Well, you are so loud always when I'm filming. You have been so quiet all day. You're a silly baby. Anyway, Y for yes, N for no. Have you heard of Christian Sam? I'll make it the pinned comment, so you know the deal. If the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Let's focus in on Sam more so than Hajrullahu, since that was we knew Hajrullahu was going to sign. Sam spent this past year in the USFL. Before that, actually an Allen product. So maybe some of you who follow Texas high school closely are familiar with him. Played opposite Kyler Murray, part of the state championship teams 2013. 12, maybe both of them. He originally committed to Florida State or Arizona State, played his entire career there, was a 6th-round pick in 2018 by the New England Patriots, listed at 6'2", 240, very classic Patriots linebacker size there. Spent a year with the New England Patriots, but he was placed on IR and then was released the next season. Played for the Dolphins, their practice squad briefly in 2019. Same with the Niners and Dolphins, all very brief from that standpoint. Never really did anything of note in the actual NFL beyond some practice squad stuff. He was never an impactful football player. He was drafted by the Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL draft. He was then released. Olivia, it's not that bad of a signing. It's okay. Anyway, Sam was released by the Bandits, signed by the New Orleans Breakers, and actually put up pretty quality numbers in the USFL. He was 3rd in tackles for loss across all USFL players and was 17th in tackles. 54 tackles, 8 TFLs, 1 INT, 4 pass breakups. He is going to compete at best for that last linebacker spot, and more likely, if we're being honest with who USFL players are, these are guys who, if they're lucky, they're going to make the practice squad. There's a lot going on when it comes to USFL players making the jump to the NFL. It's okay, Olivia. Jeez, you're so loud today. Love you. You're basically playing a college season, more or less, from like a games perspective. You know, maybe not bowl games there. And then you're playing NFL immediately. Like, the season ended for the USFL for all teams a week ago. And now you've got camp in 3 weeks. That's a lot to ask from a body perspective. So keep the expectations low for Christian Sam. And this does not really move the needle at all from that perspective. He is a pretty decent athlete, 4.75 at the combine. Isn't bad for a player of his size. Again, 6'1", 244 at the combine was his official size there, and a little bit thicker than most linebackers. Not the best explosion numbers. I've got his combine metrics up here right now. The 10-yard split was pretty solid, actually better than the overall 40, so better burst than I think he's got true top-end speed. Did produce pretty well at the USFL. That's noteworthy, but I don't anticipate, if I had to guess right now, not to be mean to Sam, the newest member of the Cowboys, he's probably not going to make the team, right? Parsons, Van Der Esch, Jabril Cox, Luke Gifford. You've got a draft pick in Devin Harper, other UDFAs, Aaron Hansford, Story Jackson, I think people are probably a bit more intrigued by in terms of the potential upside. Christian Sam has bounced around football. He's 26, Olivia. He's 26 last month, so this is not like a super young player. He's not ancient either, but he's not exactly a young piece who you're hoping to develop and give him time. Like, he's going to contend and hopefully help, the preseason and impress, no doubt. But I think if you're like me and you had linebacker concerns, you still have those linebacker concerns. Obviously, we're doing this Cowboys Report at home, which you can tell because baby Olivia's here as well. Because when news happens, even if I'm solo daddying, I got to get the news to you guys. So just wanted to update you guys and hit the big red button and subscribe. That way I can take care and feed you. I can be the provider of the Downey household. This is baby Olivia. If you haven't seen her before, she was getting a little fussy, hence the weird little cut we did in the video. But if you haven't already, please hit that big red button and subscribe for more free Cowboys videos every single day, normally not featuring baby Olivia. All right, I'll try to go a little bit quicker here since the baby's on screen the rest of the way. Lirim Hajrullahu has also signed with the Cowboys. That's a weird name, huh? It's a fun name, though, to say. We will compete, quote-unquote, with Jonathan Garibay for the starting kicker job. I don't know if he's actually going to win the job. I still think that is Garibay's to lose, more or less. What do you guys think, though? Who wins the kicker job for the Cowboys? Type in G for Jonathan Garibay or H for Lirim Hajrullahu. The Cowboys had been saying/leaking publicly for weeks, months, that they were going to add more competition at kicker after they had cut. It's okay. I know, kickers, I trained you well. We don't like talking about kickers. We're going to do it anyway. After they cut Chris Nagar, they didn't really have anyone else beyond Garibay. I still think he wins the job. That's my expectation, my guess, based on how he fared in college. But I like that there's at least competition, that it's not going to be given to a UDFA. And if Hajrullahu and or Garibay don't impress, it's pretty straightforward. Don't move the camera. It's pretty straightforward. I know, Olivia. They can just cut him and move on. That's what I like about the kicker. The limited investment standpoint from that means they don't have to overinvest at any one spot. Yeah, I know, you're tall. So I will wrap it up here because she needs attention too. So 2 moves made by the Cowboys. You're just going to wreck the camera. 2 moves made by the Cowboys. Lirim Hajrullahu signed, and the addition of Christian Sam, the linebacker. Devante Bond goes on IR. And no, it is not the big splashy move we wanted the Cowboys to make. Maybe they'll make a change when we get to camp, but it's been a quiet offseason so far. Say bye, Olivia.